Hi, welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. Well, it just occurred to me that with the Balikbayan boxes that we have been getting and the ones that are promised and probably even being packed as we speak, I thought that I would give some suggestions and observations from the Balikbayan boxes that we have received. Now, when you get as many Balikbayan boxes as we have been given, I think we're up in the it could be up in the 12 boxes that we've received so far, and I know that we probably got, I don't know, we could have another 12 on the way for all I know, because people just seem so incredibly generous, and they actually love to watch the sharing out of those boxes. They love to watch the boxes. So I'm going to give you some guidelines as to the kind of thing that I've observed gives delight. Now, the box itself, just the box itself, arriving and sitting there in among the family will be an absolute delight. The anticipation, the joy, the excitement of opening the box and looking inside and finding out just how tightly everything has been packed is a huge excitement for any family. Now, if you know the family, let me just suggest that if you know them, obviously know their name, you can actually make up in little sealed bags. Look at this. This is a bag. This one is a bag that was sent. See, look, this one says on it May, and it's just a plastic bag. That's all. Nothing elaborate. You don't have to buy a Ziploc bag and all of that. Even if you just did that. Now, some of the real pros at doing the bags have the facility for vacuum packing things, and boy, their boxes are backbreakers because they get so much stuff into those boxes. But if you're not set up like that, you can pack things like I just showed you, and then the whole thing is handed to that person, and then in our case we film them, we video them opening their box and see the particular delight that's on that person's face, and if you sent the box, you see that and you get to share that moment with them. Now, let's have a look at some of the things that I've noticed are useful. Batteries, flashlights. Batteries and flashlights are just always so useful. For some reason, the quality here is just not very good, and the batteries can tend to be dud. And the flashlights can tend to break after, I don't know, just like a week or something. But flashlights are always very useful, and very small flashlights are very useful because they can go into a kid's backpack. So if, like our kids, get caught in the dark sometimes, they've all got a flashlight in their bag, and that's really useful. So now, I have to laugh at this one because I made this suggestion once before, and Mr. and I've forgotten now whether it was Mr. and Mrs. O or Mr. and Mrs. Bean, but one one of the misters involved in that took it on himself to fill a box. I said, you know, I noticed that when the little girls that I've seen our share outs, where there's been an unexpected gift of 2 or 3 dolls, boy, those dolls are so popular with these little kids. You know, bearing in mind that they're coming from dirt floor houses a lot of the time, so even though they look gorgeous, they're probably looking gorgeous on some of the clothes that we've given them. Okay, so dolls for little girls. Oh boy, we have a box coming and it's coming from, I think, Mr. and Mrs. O, and they're sending a box with 100 dolls in it. Will we have any trouble getting rid of 100 dolls? I don't think so. The last box that they sent, which we were able to share out to some degree, was they sent a bag of slippers. I think they sent 60 or 70 pairs of slippers. You know, the rubber slippers with just a little thing goes in between the big toe and the next toe. I call them flip-flops, but here they call them slippers. Those slippers are worn by practically every kid that you see. We could get rid of, I think that we could get rid of 1,000 pairs of slippers. I know one other expat that carries a huge bag of slippers in his truck, and any time he sees a bunch of kids, he says, "Hey, have some slippers," and he gives them all a new pair of slippers. And so right up to adult slippers, children, adults, send them by the truckload. Dolls, I think you could send by the truckload. Let me see. Now another little thing that we found in Mrs. O's box was a little sewing kit. That's with you know, with a few different kinds of thread and a little cardboard piece with the different needles on it. Just so useful, and you don't get them here anything like the kind of quality that you would get from America. So those, you could give those away by the truckload, and they take up no room, and I don't know, cost nothing. First aid kits. Now, to be able to give away a cheap little first aid kit, it doesn't have to be elaborate. We've got some beautifully made, almost like a toolkit box. Was the last one that we've got, that we still have, with proper clasps on it and everything. It doesn't have to be that elaborate. If it's got some I don't know, polysporin or neosporin or an antiseptic, antibiotic salve in it, a little tiny pair of scissors, you know, and just a little tiny first aid kit like that, I could give away a ton of those easily. Slippers I already did. Clothes for kids. People ask me time and time again, what are the sizes? Nobody knows their sizes. They just don't think in terms of sizes. You can ask Beth what her bra size is, and she doesn't know. Ask her what her dress size is. She doesn't know. She goes in and she tries things on, and if it fits, that's her size. Does she note it down in a notebook? Well, I better remember that. Not really. So, kids' clothes. Send it by the ton. Send it by the pallet load, and we can find kids who need it so badly. I would love to get enough boxes of kids' clothes that we could keep giving out kids' clothes to the same kids, and then I could demand that they give the rags back in exchange. Alright, but I've done this even with Nanai. I've said, I'm going to buy you this, but I want that in exchange. I've done that with Talik. And after a while, they stop wearing these around the house rags. Even when we've given lots of stuff away at Pastor Gilbert's little community, given lots of kids' clothes away there, and I still go around there and see them wearing some tattered rag of a t-shirt because they don't want to use their good clothes. Well, if we gave them enough good clothes that we could say, give me that rag, I want that, give me the rag, we'd be able to get them so that they actually look pretty in pretty clothes. That's what I would, well, in good clothes. So, I would recommend against certainly sending to us any heavy woolens, anything that's too heavy, because it's so rare that we get cold weather that I would personally say that you could put something else in. But anyway, if you've got it there and you want to put it in, I forgive you. Jackets should be pretty light, you know, maybe for riding in the back of the truck. But one thing that you could give, which would be for kids right through to adults, would be waterproof jackets for kids. Things that they can wrap up, put an elastic band round, and put them in their school bag. Because when they're coming home in the rainy season, guess what happens? It rains. And the waterproofs that they sell here are, guess what? They're not waterproof. So, and they disintegrate so quickly. So, kids' waterproofs would be a boon. What else? Well, if you know the family that you're sending to and you just want to put in little things, well, gosh, I had, look at this that I had. I had this, and I have this on my keyring now. Look, it's a little nail cutter, and it's a good one, and you can't seem to get the good ones here. What was this? Now this was just a little knife. It's a little knife, look, little tiny pen knife, and it folds away really nicely. Sharp, it's good quality, from America, and I carry that everywhere that I go, and I open all the boxes with that. So little tiny things like that which you put in, and I've had some really fun things put in. We had deodorant put in by Mrs. O. Deodorant, we don't have any deodorant here. They don't, you know. I had to show Tulloch how to use a roll-on deodorant, and we had this. Look, this is a little tiny thing of cologne. It says Express, and it's got the little lion on the front, which, well, I don't know, do they use deodorant? Well, anyway, just little things like that are tremendous, and there are other people who they obviously just said, oh, I don't know what to do with this, throw it in the box. And it's just the joy of saying, wow, what is this? And somebody sent loads of pens. Well, when we go down there, we go down to Alturas and buy a pen, and it might last 2 days, whereas in America, in the UK, they do actually last. So pens, even pencils, the wood that the pencils are made of here is just garbage. So when you put it into a pencil sharpener, it doesn't sharpen it, it disintegrates. So they're no good either. And little pads like this, look, this, and I'm using it. They're useful, and you can just, if you have them, or if they're on offer, sometimes in America they'd be on offer and they'd have 10 in a pack or something. We can share those in the community, and there's, believe me, for us personally, for me, there's really nothing that I need. You know, I'm real low maintenance, and the most difficult question for me to answer is, what can we do for you? We're doing just fine. I mean, Paul and Dude from Australia have just sent me so many beautiful shirts that I'll have to give them away. I'll have to share them with people that I care about, with Manorado. So yes, beautiful shirt to go to church in on Saturday, and Pastor Timio's got 2 or 3 boys there that can use shirts, you know. So I'll keep what I need, and the rest I will share happily. And I hope that the people who are listening to this who are saying, "Oh, I'm not going to send him anything if he doesn't need anything," it's not that. We can just, there's other people that are needing things, and we can happily give them away. So that's my Balikbayan box suggestion. Thanks for looking in. Bye for now. This is a foreigner in the Philippines, of course.